And I said, what would happen if I'm here standing in front of camera, telling people to fail and be authentic and don't lie, and somebody sees me with some fake team just for the money? They'd be Coach HP's a sellout. Because right now, my word and your attention to be here, I can't put a price on it. There we go. At least record that and you can move that back and forth. What's up, big man?
Coach.
Everything
Hi,
good?
Coach.
What's up, dude? How's everything good? Hey, man, you got all dressed up, man. That's Perry, by the way.
What's up, Perry? Nice to meet you, Freddie. Nice to meet you.
Who has the hook up here?
Dad's.
Yeah?
Introduce you now. He has. You could come here if you ever need to make videos or anything.
Oh, nice, bro. How's it looking? Good on the ice and everything? Yeah? Good? You ready? This guy's all excited. I love it. I love it. What's going on? What's going on? What's up, dude? How's everything? What's up, big man? How's everything? Good? Very nice. What's up, guys? Grab one of these. I'll grab one. I'll stand right here. Yeah. Good. Babe, if you want to sit down and find a spot, you can. Hey, Gabriel, bro. There he is. Look at you, man. Look how big you've got. We good? Yeah. All right. So, big honor to be here. This, to me, it's always interesting now as my career's taken an interesting path, that when I get to talk to people in Miami that actually, some people that really know my story, it makes good impact. Yeah, I didn't recognize you. How are you? So that's why he looked familiar. See, yeah. And every time I speak now, it's more, I know the kids sit here in the front, but everything's for the parents, especially in the age group you guys are in now. Because a lot of things that are happening is parent created. Because these guys, at the end of the day, only thing they care about is hanging out with their boys and playing. They do not remember what their stats were last year. They don't remember the record. It's impossible. We do, because we're adults. And one of the big things that I do now when I speak is I tell people that the most important thing is mindset. That the most important thing is process and effort and attitude. And let me give you guys a little example. So I'm speaking at Oregon State. And this is real popular. It's one of my most viral videos. But I'm speaking at Oregon State. Oregon State flew me out to talk to the team, and coincidentally, they're the national champs last year. And I go over there to Corvallis, Oregon, home of the 2018 national champs. Go for it, buddy. Put it there. Go. Put it wherever you want to sit. Come on. And as I'm sitting there, and I'm speaking to the national champs, I notice this pair of eyes staring at me, kind of like where Freddie's at. And the guy wouldn't take his eyes off me the whole time. It's like really staring at me. And when I was done, I go, you guys have any questions? And the first guy to ask a question, what's your name, buddy? What's your name? Yeah. Lorenzo, do me a favor. Sit down right there and hang tight, dude. There we go, Lorenzo. And the guy's staring at me, and I go, you have any questions? This is the first guy to raise his hand. And he asked me a question on mindset. and dealing with positivity and negativity. Ask me a second question. We're done. We take a picture. The kid's right next to me. Sends me a DM after. Coach, you being here is like faith. It's all like beautiful text. I had no idea who the guy was. When I'm done, the manager sent me a phone call. He's like, Coach, that was awesome. You crushed it. By the way, you know who that kid was? I go, I have no idea. He was at Adley Rushman, the projected #1 overall pick in the 2019 baseball draft. The Orioles just signed him for $8.3 million. Record in the MLB history. He's considered one of the top 5 #1 overall picks of all time, with like A-Rod, Bryce Harper, that kind of thing. And he hasn't played 1 inning in the big leagues yet. Now, the kid is a 6'4" switch hitting catcher, has a lot of physical tools. But his question was about mindset. It wasn't about throwing harder, hitting faster, running faster, any of that. So what does that mean for you parents that are here? That we're evaluating our kids the wrong way. We're looking at a result-based system on somebody else's thing. Because just like no man is created, they say, like there's a saying goes, all men are created equal, but we're all different. And we all got different good things, and we all got different not so good things. And one of the biggest problems I see right now is everybody's trying to do with that one good thing that a couple, whether it's teams or kids are doing, everybody's trying to imitate that. And if you do that, this is going to become very unfun. Because you can't. And I stress that so much everywhere I go. I was in Denver speaking this weekend. Same thing. I thought it was a Miami thing, so I started to travel. Same thing. Only thing you can control is your kid's effort and attitude, right? The fact that you were sleeping down there and sitting down, right? You see how your dad's there. No, you stay on the seat. No, you stay on the seat. You do me a favor. You go sit over there. Go. See what I'm saying? I'll go sit, dude. It's okay. It's all right. See, that there is not his fault. Because he's never seen a speaker before. Maybe come talk to him the way I am. So we start educating these guys. Listen, man, when somebody comes to speak, you do this and that. You know what I'm saying? I don't take any of that. No, I don't take any of that personal because they don't know. They look big, right? And they talk big and they talk back to us now, but they don't really know. And the more patience you have with them and the more you focus on process and educating them, that's all that matters. Not everybody's going to love what you do. Not everybody's going to be all positive of what you do. But as long as in your heart you feel it's the best thing, even what I'm saying today could be you'll be like, that guy's totally crazy. What is he talking about? Only thing I know more than you guys is that I failed more than everybody here. By far. And my dad, who some of you guys know, all he cared about in life was making me the best baseball player possible. And he prepared me for everything except to deal with him. He didn't prepare me for that. He failed big time at that. And that cost him in his life a lot. And nobody wanted more for their kid, and nobody invested more time. Not money. He didn't invest any money in me, but he invested a lot of time. Because he was a humble Pepsi worker that got up at 5 o'clock in the morning every single day. And we went to Disney World one time in 1982 or something, 83. And that's it. There wasn't the era of the tournaments. It was the era of baseball 24/7. So I played at Tamiami Park in the winters and Miami Friends at Tamiami Park in the summer. And I went to Tampa one time. And I never went again. Tampa would be like going to Disney World now for baseball. That was a big deal. Because they didn't have any money. So you don't need, and I tell this to people all the time, and for a while I made a living doing this. You don't need to hire the best coach if that's going to bring stress. You don't need to buy the best baseball bat if that's going to make stress. You don't need to be on the best team if that's going to bring stress. What you parents need to do is make this a stressful, free environment. Make this a stressful, free environment. Where you were before was a bad experience and you trusted it and that didn't work, awesome. Let's see if this could be a good experience. Because I get a lot of parents tell me, oh, you know, the coach or the academy that they were there before. But that's part of life. Because I don't know if all of us here, I didn't marry the first girl I liked. Why are we doing that with this? Thank God. And hopefully for you guys, thank God. It's a process. You date people, you figure it out. Oh, look. And then same thing with this. It's a process. This team is here now. Guess what? There's some players here that are going to be better than the other ones. There's going to be a parent here that's going to listen, I want my kid to go to a better opportunity. You can't get mad at that. Whoever's running this team can't get mad at that. Because teaching youth baseball is the most underappreciated thing in the world. I train half of Miami at Sun Point. I did stuff for people's kids that nobody did. You know how many thank yous I got for that? Nothing. Nothing. Because I gave with zero expectation. Youth sports has become, I'm going to give and I want to be recognized for what I'm giving. Especially if you happen to be of any Latino, Latin, Hispanic descent. Because we have an extra gene of testosterone called machismo with us that we love to peacock it out when we can. We did it ourselves at our time at some point, and then now we do it versus our kids' thing with their record and their stats and stuff like that. If we learn to eliminate that and focus on process, effort, and attitude, focus on communication between you guys, and what happens? And you talk. You might want to play tournaments, you might not. You might want to go do this, you might not. You might want to have 5 uniforms. You might want to have 1. None of that matters. Only thing that matters is that when these guys turn back, that I don't even think me and you, Gabby, can even think about. When we played together, probably in, was it San Denis Homes? Yeah. Was a white and purple team that I remember, I think we won maybe I don't even think we got a trophy because we weren't that good. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. And that was my life. It wasn't these guys, that was my life. For all I did was play baseball. And I can't even remember that. Only thing I could remember was an all-star game that I played. And this is obviously coach pitch. I hit 3 home runs. And the 4th time I hit a fly ball out to somewhere. And I cried because I had failed. And from then on, my whole sports career changed because right now these guys are still very good compared to the competition. But it's going to come to a point that they're not going to be. And adversity is going to become their best friend. Because when this experience sucks and they still want to play baseball, you got a baseball player. When this experience sucks and they go, Papi, I don't want to play baseball anymore, it's okay. United States and the city of Miami doesn't need more baseball players. We need more happy dudes. Does that make sense? We need more happy people. And I haven't even said a word to the kids yet. This is all to the parents. Last Friday, I worked with a kid that I had trained when he was 5, 6 years old. Got to the point with baseball that didn't work out anymore. But the kid's a golfer. And like golf, and his dad really liked golf. His dad played at one of the best high schools here. Played at Tulane. Great school. And the kid got involved with golf with the dad. And he had me out there working on mindset. 9 holes with the kid. Kid's one of the best golfers in the country right now. At 7 years old. Play other sports. You don't have to play baseball 24/7. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Play other sports. You don't got to play baseball 24/7. Adley Rushman was a punter for Oregon State football. A punter. Play other sports. Why do we want people to date one girl the whole time? Why does it make sense to me? Everything helps figure out what makes you happy. We got a taste. Coach, I'm going to do this summer, we're going to do rollerblade hockey. You never know. If anybody sits here and tells you, I know exactly what these kids' future is, it doesn't work. What I do know is the majority of the numbers tell us that if you make any experience bad with your kids, they're not going to want to do it again. It's very rare that kids are going to be like, you know what, I like this. I'm getting pushed by my dad, and my dad's screaming at me, and I like that. Let's go. Very hard. If you laugh, it's very hard. And even harder today, you know what's really hard that I've noticed is it's so hard to be positive. I was at a thing with, if you guys remember Shane Battier? And they asked Shane, he goes, who's the best coach I've ever had? And if you know Shane Battier played for Duke, so he played for Coach K. Got coached with Spoelstra. Then we had Spoelstra and Pat Riley. And he goes, by far, my number one coach has been Ed Battier, his dad. And then it's no coincidence that when I started training here in Miami, I would see Shane Battier catching bullpens at Palmer Park. Have you guys ever saw him? At Palmer Park, catching bullpens, wearing it off the shins of kids at night, pitching in the dirt. And the guy there wearing it off the shin, not screaming at anybody, because it's about the experience we share, man. That's why you guys get pissed when you're in an academy or in a coach that isn't good, because you're like, man, he's going to ruin my kid's experience. You can't control that. What you can control is the effort and attitude you give these people. And you do not reward, I know it's hard, home runs. Reward them trying. Ball goes under their legs, don't get upset. They grab a ball and they throw it to the wrong person. Don't say, how many times have we practiced this? Because everybody does that. My boy, Max Fried, I don't know if you know Max Fried. Max Fried is pitching now for the Atlanta Braves. I worked with Max Fried a little bit in the hitting department when he was in Los Angeles. And Max Fried's dad used to tell me, Coach, you know how many times I have to remind Max and his younger brother and kids to do things? Just one more time. If you put that in your head, that you got to remind your kid just one more time. At home, put away the towel, be nice to your little brother, don't talk back to your mom, all these things. Just one more time, you'll never be miserable. You'll never take it personal. Max Fried came and got drafted 8th overall by the San Diego Padres. This was in 2000. I want to say this is 2011. Got drafted 8th overall by the San Diego Padres. He got traded to the Atlanta Braves when the Padres traded for Matt Kemp. 2 years ago when there was a hurricane, remember the hurricane we had that hit here 2 years ago? The game before, Max Fried was pitching on TV for the Atlanta Braves against the Marlins, and Mike Stanton hit a home run off him that still hasn't landed. Hit a bomb off him. Nowadays, Max Fried, you're going to see him. He's going to pitch in the playoffs. Starting lefty. He's throwing 96, 97 miles per hour. It took him, let's do the math, got drafted 2011, 8 years. 8 years to get to where he's got. We don't have patience for these guys 8 months. Probably not even 8 weeks. Probably not even 8 days. And sometimes not even 8 hours. See the mistakes we're making as parents? All of us. All of us. I used to tell parents that would call me, Coach, but his classes are getting expensive and he's not paying attention or he's striking out in the game. I go, then eliminate me. I go, eliminate me. Don't bring him to me anymore. But you're not going to ruin his experience because he's seeing Coach HP. Not on my watch. The parent that's offered me the most money is some dude from Chicago offered me, now that I did the math, I calculated wrong. Maybe that's why I turned it down. It's funny. It was like 15 G's a month to coach his team. And it turned out for like 6 months, it was like 90 G's at the end of the day. And when I looked at it, his kid didn't want to be there. It was a rich guy's kid. His kid didn't want to be there. It looked like a team that was orchestrated around the kid. And I said, what would happen if I'm here standing in front of camera telling people to fail and be authentic and don't lie, and somebody sees me with some fake team just for the money? they beat Coach HP's a sellout. Because right now, my word and your attention to be here, I can't put a price on it. That's why I told Rawlings when I signed with them, I go, listen, if I don't believe in it, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you right now. With New Balance, same exact thing. If I don't believe it, I'm not going to talk about it. We'll go through a couple of things and then we'll talk about the questions you have, because I want to hear your questions. Don't worry about judgment. That's why we get weird with our kids. Don't worry about judgment. I'll use myself. I'm the biggest failure in the history of Miami baseball. Identity issues took over in high school, and I tried to hit like somebody else. I said this when I was in Texas. I should have hit like Christian Yelich with the Marlins. And we know him because we were with the Marlins. Christian Yelich was one of the best contact hitters by far with the Marlins. I wanted to hit like Bryce Harper because I had identity issues and I wanted to overcompensate for a million things that were happening to me at home. So guess what? That ruined my baseball career by far. A lot of talent, but it never got me anywhere. So I don't want you guys as parents to position your kids to impress your friends, coaches, the academy they left, the academy they're going to. Doesn't matter. There isn't one high school coach that's going to matter, that's going to go, well, let me take a look at his 9U stats or his 10U stats. Doesn't matter. They're going to rely on people they trust and what they see with their eyes to see if they're going to play this person or not. When I started, I'll get to you, buddy. When I started, I got criticized by everybody for walking around with a camera. Who does that guy think he is? Why does he think he's special? All these things. Want to know why? Because it was different. Only that's it. That's it. Because it was different. And that has changed my whole life. That. Because I wanted to help. I had to do it for my business. I never once posted on my social, I offer baseball lessons. I didn't. I would grab a kid, I grabbed Nick, showed Nick hitting, and that's it. And people would see that, and they would call me. That's it. Never once said anything. Then I started saying my mistakes. And then I started telling people, listen, I've seen enough already, because I was blessed. Whether the situation worked out for me or not, but I was blessed to start off in a place that taught 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and 8-year-olds. I was blessed. I didn't get the love I deserved there. I get a lot of things I deserved there. But I was blessed to learn that math. Coming from a place like Columbus, learn that math, learn professional baseball. Now I know all spectrums. Now I know almost like a crystal ball what it all looks like. And then now, with my deal with Rawlings, I'm going to be able to go to Perfect Game and have more information on what tournament baseball at that level looks like with the best baseball players in the country, with reference of what they're paying and that exposure. And is it worth it or not? Because parents fear that their kid isn't going to get the right exposure. Well, this isn't like that movie with, you know, if you see like movie like A League of Their Own with Gina Davis where they got to go find her like in some farm somewhere. Those days are over. They're going to find you. If your kid is good, I swear he's going to be seen. He's not going to go unnoticed. As parents, let's talk social media for a second. I became very successful on social media. Parents love to post their kids on social media. I said this on NBC when I got interviewed. I go, what if you start posting your kid's process and you post a strikeout? Hey guys, what's up here? I'm Gabby. Nick hasn't hit in all month. Man, he's not happy. I'm not happy. But you know what? We're not giving up. You know why we're happy? The team's winning. You know why we're happy? Because we're still practicing and Nick still loves baseball. I'm going to check in with you in October. Let's see if he gets a hit. Nobody does that. Kid gets one home run, everybody posts that. The kid, good, cool. What if you change that up? and you're honest with yourself, and they start seeing that. Dad, man, you posted my strikeouts. Yeah, buddy, it's okay. You know why? Because you tried. You didn't cry. You didn't think about yourself. You didn't throw your helmet. You didn't throw your bat. All you did was cheer on your team and try your best. Has anybody ever told you that before? No. Because if I ran the Dade County Punishers, I want everybody to know Dade County Punishers is the best team in town, and we're undefeated, and we won this tournament and that tournament. Who cares? If by the age of 40, you value every trophy you got at this age, you know what that makes you? A loser. Think about it. That's why they would criticize Al Bundy. Because Al Bundy would always talk about his high school years. Forget even Little League, high school years. And everybody like, oh, and that was his thing. So why are we going to put this on such pedestal? This is about parents sharing this with their kids. That's it. It's baseball now, soccer, football, all this thing. And then one of the most common questions I get asked is, but coach, my kid just wants to play video games. All he wants to do is play video games. Lorenzo, you good? All right, buddy. My kid just wants to play video games. That's a waste of time. And then I go, well, Perry was there when we spoke at the Ultimate Gamer, the top Fortnite tournament in the country at the time, where the winning player got $75,000. FIU now is offering esports scholarships. The NBA just announced their first ever draft where Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, announced. And for the Miami Heat, they're called, I forgot to get the name right now, we draft such and such person. They came up, they shook hands with the commissioner, and they took a picture. I know because I spoke to them at that event. They house and pay people. They have a condo in Coral Gables, whole floor, where they're a team. And they play other teams. And they're part of the NBA. Do you know why your kids like playing video games with you more than baseball or sports? I'm going to tell you why. Because when you play video games with your son or your daughter, and you sit with them, you get a beautiful flat screen TV like this, because we all have that in our house, whether you make $50,000 or $500,000. All of us have this TV in our house. The majority of us have it coolly mounted so you don't see that thing up there. You have either a PlayStation or an Xbox. All of us have air conditioning. All of us have Wi-Fi. So we sit there in a super comfortable situation with a beverage of the adult's choice and the kid's choice, and you together play this game. And there isn't one parent in here, raise your hand if you have, that when your kid loses, dies, loses a game, you go, oh, come on, man. You throw the remote, you go, you can do better than that, and you leave. Has anybody done that while they play video games with kids? I'm going to get you. Hold on a second. Talking to the parents.
I did.
No, but I'm talking about the parents.
But I didn't feel my control.
But you know, you guys, but I'm talking about parents. It doesn't happen. So what does that make that? Fun. A lot of fun. And for those of you that are like, well, I didn't play video games growing up, here's a classic line. Ready? Who knows what up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, 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 select, start is? There's a couple more versions of it, right? That was a video game called Contra. And that gave you 30 lives and 30 continues versus the 3 that the game came with. And then we could go up and down the board. Justin Bailey and Metroid. And then Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was 007 something. See what I'm saying? There's baseball. There's so many. That was fun. We're lucky now because imagine you playing video games with your dad. He's like, esto una bobería, que esto? We're my dad. We're like, but you guys are cool enough. We're cool enough that we get it. And now we're going to put that bad. Why? Because we used to hang out in the backyard and throw a ball in the air and that was cool. We're just not understanding how to raise kids in this generation because we didn't know. We were lucky we had a beeper. And then came a phone, then came a smartphone, and now everything really coming at us hard. Social media is not the problem. It'll never be the problem. It's telling us what we're doing. It's not trying us. It's telling us. If you're bragging on social media, you're going to come off that way. If you're lying on social media, you're going to get caught. If you're honest on social media, a coach talking to parents and educating them, whether the kids came to me or not. Some parents came to me for 1 session, some came to me for 500. I'm here to help. That's a rarity. But if you guys help without expectation, you guys win. For the players, let me talk to you guys real quick. All right? When a coach talks, you look them in the eye. You guys have done a great job of listening to me. That's number one. Number two, it's time you guys become responsible for your things. You do not let any of your parents carry your equipment. Do you understand me? You guys hustle wherever you go on a baseball field. Do you guys got me? If you forget something, it's not your parents' fault. It's your fault. You're already big already. You guys got me? Yep. Does that make sense? Yes. Yep. This is your season to do what you got to do. You don't blame anybody when things go wrong. It's just part of the process. Does that make sense? All right. We'll do a little question now. Gabby, did I do good? You like it? Me and Gabby played together our first year. By coincidence. Questions?
How do you, Coach, how do you take players like the players you have in front of you right now, that were, and I'm just going to throw it out there, you know, this team was made by pretty much all the dads you see here.
Right.
You know, Gabby and, Gabby, what was it, G, that said, let's start off a nonprofit? It was actually Nelson. Yeah. So why, to get them out of the situation they were in, which was really negative,
Right.
really bad, and how do you get that mentality out of them, like, and let them know, hey, this team belongs to you. It's
Okay.
not an academy.
So they do not know the difference right now. He's using big words for them. So how you fix that is by being positive and encouraging them. And what happened in the past, happened in the past. And if they're scarred by what happened in the past, and that interrupts their baseball ability, then they weren't baseball players. Because everybody who's great has been cut one time. You don't believe me? Let's go down the list. Michael Jordan, we know that story. Tom Brady, we know that story. Last pick, pretty much, of the 5th round of the draft, greatest ever. Aaron Rodgers didn't get a Division I offer. Had to go play junior college. Danny Amendola, let's go even lower. Danny Amendola had to get on as a practice squad. Practice squad to then make it. Julian Edelman, my boy, had to go to some junior college and then go to some Division I school that a lot of people haven't heard of. Nobody loved Walt Disney. Nobody believed in Steve Jobs. Nobody believed in Drake. Nobody believed in the Migos. They don't believe in anybody who's great. Why do you think we don't know who Richard Branson's kids are or Warren Buffett's kids are? So those guys don't have to do anything. That's why people now are affecting their health when everything is put onto them in a platter, because they don't know how to deal with adversity. That's why here comes addiction, and here comes negativity, and here comes anxiety, and here comes all these things, because we've had it too great so far. If you guys were worried about our safety leaving this place, we wouldn't worry about them taking ownership of a team. It'd be like, Papo, when we're done with this talk, run, keep your head on a swivel, because we might get attacked by a lion. But we've gotten soft because we've been the best forever. So we worry about dumb things like uniforms and matching uniforms and road uniforms and this and that. Why? How do we preach positivity? By being all positive here. That's it. If they don't get over it, they're not baseball players. It's your job to teach them. It's a team. It's not a nonprofit because you guys are putting in your time. It's a team. You play against an academy that everybody's paying $1,000 a month and they crush you. That's life. You think when I started, everybody showed me love? Zero. Everybody told me, Coach, I'll help you edit. Perry knows the story very well. I'll help you edit. I'll help you do this. I'll help you do that. You know how many people helped me? Zero. You know what I had to do? I had to take my Mr. Positivity self, go to the Apple store, and learn. For 2 months, sit there twice a week to edit movies on I Learned iMovie. That's why I'm winning. Not because my dad donated money or, hey, son, or hey, this, or Perry. You know, I got Perry to come here. His dad knocked on my door that we were neighbors and said, listen, my kid's in some school in South Carolina somewhere. Can you work with him? I said, absolutely. And I'm going to work with him for free. Perry could have been a jerk and never, but he reciprocates it in a way that now he helps me out when he can. And I didn't charge him $1. And I wasn't rich. And I didn't have deals. But I believe in karma. And I believe in long-term marathon mentality. Not short-term, I'm going to impress you guys, fakeness. Freddie, that's why we teach this team. And that's why you tell the adults here. That's it. Whoever's the manager, if he messes up because he's sending the guy, who cares? Would you have done it differently? Awesome. Who's the third base coach here? So that person, who's the manager? Is that person here? Is it you? Perfect. If you mess up, right? Because maybe you should have been the third place coach, or he should have been whoever it is. It's okay, man. Did they try? Yes. They give you the right effort? Yeah. Now, if your third base coach is on his phone, like I saw, because you can't have negativity with a team that's been burned on the field. It's like dating a chick that has commitment issues and you show her you have commitment problems. That ain't gonna work out, dude. Does that make sense? Freddie, it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Next question. You get you.
What positions did you play?
I'm a lefty, so I played first base and I pitched. Funny story with pitching. Age 14, right going into high school when I was in 7th grade, my dad wanted to win so much that I threw 120 innings, completely blew out my elbow. We won. Tell you, we won. I set the Tamiami record for strikeouts that year. But it cost me my arm, and my arm was never the same. And I told my dad every single day, Papi, no puedo tirar más. And the dude went at me like a lion because I told him that. Do not punish your kids. Their arm hurts. Don't put them to pitch. You got 2 pitchers that day? Nobody else can pitch? Go right to the umpire and go, listen, we're going to forfeit the game because I don't have any more pitchers. Do not leave your son up there to get destroyed and lose his arm. It's not worth it.
Worst equipment and be the best baseball players?
What a good question that is. Do you remember me, by the way? Yeah? You guys. Put your hand down. I got you next, Nick. Don't worry. Absolutely. The best baseball players now are coming from a little country called the Dominican Republic, where they don't have awesome Rawlings Velo bats and Rawlings Quattros and facilities. They got nothing. But you know what they have? It's a little word that we get experience at probably maybe 3 times a day, maybe you guys more. They have something called hunger because they got no options. You guys got a lot of options. They got no options. So they come at it with everything they have. So you do not need the best equipment. You know what you need? The best effort and attitude. You got that? Next question. Nick, go.
What is your favorite part
What is my favorite part? This. That I get to talk to you guys. And I get to hopefully help you guys out in a positive way. Nathan.
Why did you start your career?
What?
Why did you start your...
Why did I start? Oh, I started at the age of 3. Lorenzo, how old are you?
What?
How old are you?
5?
5. So I started at 3.
No, why did you start?
I'm going to tell you. We'll get to the story. I started at 3. And my dad said, you're going to play baseball. And that's what I did. To make him happy. Play baseball. Because the most important thing to kids is to make your parents happy. You don't believe it? Think about that. Think about how we think about our childhood. That's the most important thing. Your dad's not in the picture. At some point, you want him in the picture just to let him know how you turned out. I'm one of the minorities. I honestly wish my dad wasn't in the picture as much as he was. I really did. But my dad prepared me for everything except to deal with him. That's why I can't lose now in life. Because I compare everything to what I went through with him. And if I went through that, everything else is a piece of cake. So when I lived in my car for 6 months in Los Angeles, didn't know a single person, I knew I was going to win. Already got you. Hold on. Oh, and then I got stuck playing baseball, and I didn't have a choice. I tried quitting a couple times, they wouldn't let me. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get to a parent now. Go for it.
You mentioned Tamiami Park a couple of times, and I grew up in the neighborhood. What high school, junior high school did you go to?
So I went to, here's a funny story. So I went to W.R. Thomas.
Okay, you went to Riviera, okay.
So about here's, you went to Riviera High School?
Cypress Elementary, Riviera, Southwest High.
So I went to Tropical Elementary, which is right next to Riviera.
Right.
So I took a yellow bus. There's adversity for us. These guys don't know anything about this. I took a yellow bus at a bus stop. Wait for a bus to get us with a bunch of strangers, drive to, and I lived by Belen, and we went all the way for some weird reason to Tropical Elementary. And then when I was supposed to be in 6th grade of my junior high year, they changed it and they created this thing called middle school. So my 6th grade, I was a freshman, supposedly, and I went to W.R. Thomas. Now, here's the funny thing. Put your hand on Nathan. I'll get you next. As I got real good in Tamiami Park, everybody started recruiting me because I was tall, and I was a pitcher, and I hit very well, and people started recruiting me. And the best high schools started coming at my dad. Columbus, Gulliver, Westminster, all these things. For some strange reason, signs started popping up of me not to go where I originally went to. We were playing in Tamiami Park as a big field that now is fenced, a real big field, right next to Sluggers. And I'm practicing there with my dad one day. And when I'm practicing, I'm hitting, and there's this guy doing sprints out there. And when I was doing sprints out there, and I'm hitting the ball, and when we're shagging, picking up the balls, the guy comes in, and he goes to my dad, man, this guy, I'll never forget this. He goes, man, this guy hits very good. This guy's really good. What high school is he supposed to go to? And he said the high school I was supposed to go to, and he goes, oh, wait a minute, you're going to play for this guy? Let me tell you a story about me playing for this guy. I played for this guy when I was in South Miami. And my junior year, in the middle of the game, I took off my uniform, and I left it there, and I took off on this guy. This guy is horrible. You think that was a sign for my dad? But no, he didn't. He chose to take me to a school that at the time had 5,000 plus students because that's the school where my sister was going, so that's the one that I'm going to go. Porque tú vas a ir a la escuela que te toca. How about that one? So I went to a little school called G. Holmes Braddock. Funny thing is, nobody in Braddock knows who I am right now. When I came back from Las Vegas and I started my Coach HP journey, I reached out to the athletic director who coached us as a football coach in baseball and laughed at me. I swear, he treated me like I was a delinquent. He was like, what? Oh yeah, can I come and maybe help? I go, no. But here's a funny story. When I was at Braddock, 1 year, 1996, a coach by the name of Joe Weber coached us. Coach Weber is the coach of Columbus now. Columbus was my dream school. That coach coached us for 1 year. He was the pitching coach. I built a bond with him. When I came back, I went right to talk to him. He opened me with hands like this. Whatever you want to do, coach, I got your back. Look how funny life is. The school that sucked, that is horrible, that doesn't know who I am. The best high school in Miami, I've spoken there 4 times, giving them all I have, hooked them up with a lot of things. See how crazy life is? And I don't hold that against Braddock or anybody, because you can't control that. I only worry about what I can control. Go for it.
What do you do when you're mad and stressed out?
Good. In our world, imagine us adults using the word stress to our parents. They'd have killed us, man. Papi, estoy estresado. No puedo dar la pelota. Imagine me telling that to my dad, right? But this generation is different. I spoke at Columbus in front of their freshman class, and a super cute little kid, it's a freshman, raised his hand, Coach, how do you deal with anxiety? It's real now. Stress is real. By learning that failure is our best friend. And you can't focus on your average and good stuff. Focus on process. If you're worried about something, you worry about something you can't control. If I talk for too much here, I can't control that. I can only control that I'm giving you everything I got. So I don't get worried. I do. You don't think you can hit a baseball like you like to? Well, how much practice are you doing? You can't practice enough? I'll get you next, don't worry, you don't have to raise your hand. Well, coach, I can only afford this coach. Perfect, well, what are you doing? My first talk, lower your hand, I'll get you guys. My first talk, I'll never forget this. I'm in Dallas, Texas speaking. A group of 9 people showed up, and they're like, Coach, I can't afford lessons. I go, okay. I go to the kid. Kid was, I think, 11 years old. Kid of youngest of 3. I already can't afford lessons. Well, let me ask you a question, buddy. Do you have a lawnmower in your house? Yeah, good. Do you have a hose and a bucket? Yeah. I go, I would reach out to 10 hitting coaches. Coach, listen, this is who I am. Unfortunately, I can't afford hitting lessons because my parents can't. But this is what I can do. I can wash your car in exchange for lessons. I can cut your grass. Who's done that here? Nobody. Because God forbid Coach HP or somebody hears that I don't got money to pay for lessons. There's no excuses. No excuses. Nobody does that to me. Nobody's ever gone, hey coach, can I barter? No. So the kid just sucks or doesn't do as good as they can, whatever. Why? Who cares? I said it. I turned the post around in the camera in front of, now it's 100,000 people. And I said, listen, I'm going to move from my house in South Miami because the $4,000 a month I'm investing into his house, I can put into Coach HP and be more successful in Cutler Bay. You don't like that? I'm not cool enough for you? Go follow somebody else. With 2 brand deals in the works at the time. Who am I going to impress? Nobody. Did a post yesterday. My wife, when I go to Los Angeles, oh, I want you to be successful, whatever. Cool. That's you. I spent my whole life wanting to be a private school, Ivy League kind of guy. So I wanted to be Columbus. The more blue collar I was and the more work ethic I had, like my dad did, that's where he won, the more successful I am in life. I worked for 2 years every single day training kids. That's how I separated myself from everybody in Miami. Nobody did that. Coach HP did that. Mom.
So nobody likes to lose, right? And when we're kids, it's a hard thing to kind of accept because of the expectation of what parents want and in taking a loss? Like, what have you pep talked yourself when you've lost, or what even as an adult can you share with them so that when we do lose, or if we ever, or maybe they don't feel like they made their best that day, so that way they understand how to treat the next practice or the next game?
How many games have you guys played? Two. The last game, did you guys win or lose? Hold on. What was the score? Kids, what was the score? Raise your hand if you know the score of the game. Nathan.
Like 26 to like 3.
What was the score? What?
20 something to 3.
That's not an answer. I want concrete answers.
14 to 3.
See what they don't know. And that's normal. They're going to know how you treat them. So the answer is, here's the answer to your question. It's you. How you parent them to go, buddy, it's not what happened on the scorecard. It's how you played. Did you run out to your position? Who's your kid? Oh, that's right, Nathan. Okay, so Nathan, right? So Nathan, right? Nathan. Did he hustle? Did he do the right thing? Did whatever. You and dad are working together. Same formula. That's it. If coach screams, listen, buddy, this is life. Coach doesn't really reward the same things we reward. That's it. You got that, parents? They don't know the score. I'm telling you, when was the last game?
Last Saturday, last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. Wasn't even a week ago. They don't know the score. They don't know. I'm telling you, they don't know the score. It's not their fault. See what I'm saying? That's the importance of the responsibility we have as adults. Just personal when it's your kid. That's what you do. Oh, we lost, whatever. No. Here, start with the positive right away. Immediately, right away. Make sense? Make sense? Right away, positives. And then the negatives, we work on it in practice. Oh, but I don't want to play baseball anymore. Good news, you're not a baseball player. That's it. Freddie can go do something else. You don't have to worry about this anymore. We all can do something, and that's it. Because like I said before you got here, the world doesn't need more baseball players. We need happy people. The most frustrated people in the world are people that have done the best in sports. And they didn't make it. You want to know why? Because they treat us athletes, not like thoroughbreds, because thoroughbreds, when they're done, you put them out to stud, they treat us like greyhounds. They ride us, and everybody thinks we're the best, but then what happens? Here's a kid that, put your hands down, I'll get you guys. Here's a kid that played baseball at University of Miami. Here's a kid that didn't do anything. This guy played minor leagues. This guy went and lived his life. He's happy. 5 years this guy wasted on baseball. Now he's miserable. This guy's happy living his life. Now this guy comes back into society. You think this is a functioning human being?
No.
Not prepared to deal with anything. Because he still thinks he's that star. So what does this human being do? The only thing he knows how to do. Go back into baseball. And who do you think is coaching your kid? Mr. Miserable over here. That's the only thing he knows how to do. And he turned that into a business. See how this plays out? Insert whoever right here. I'll let you insert whatever dude you want in whatever situation right there. It's happening in every state. Thought it was a Miami thing till I traveled the country. Because we're not preparing people to win in life. We're preparing them to be baseball players. Make sense? Any adults with more questions? Perry.
How does not just baseball but athletics in general prepare little kids to being adults?
Say it again.
How does athletics prepare little kids to be adults?
Teamwork, following instruction, learning to lose. Losing is the best thing. Now, losing and hey, we lost, obviously that's a bad attitude. Failure, adversity is a winning player's best friend. So what athletics does is it forces us to be in a competitive environment that doesn't cost us our life. Because in the old days, in the Greek times, whatever, you fight for your life and then you lose and be like, oh man, I lost today, I lost my arm. That would suck. right? Nowadays we get to compete and then everything comes the same. That's why. So 2 more questions.
Coach, would you say that, I mean, from what I've heard and from the videos I've seen, and I've seen almost all your videos, failure is a good thing because when you have that kid or even that adult that fails but continues to try to go at it, it's because they really want it on their own instead of being pushed to do it.
100%. 70% of kids quit team sports by the age of 13 because of 2 things. Number 1, talent. They're not talented anymore. And number 2, their parents drive them out of the sport. The number 1, and we talked about this, the number 1 dreaded activity from kids playing sports is the ride back home. Because we get destroyed as players on the ride back home. Don't do that. Don't do that. Gabby, you had a question? Gabriel, you had a question? Lorenzo, you had a question?
The score was 21-6.
Was that the score?
It was.
Lorenzo, are you G's little brother?
Yes.
Look how big you've got him, man. Look at you. Nathan,
I have 2 quick questions.
go for it.
Number 1 is like, have you ever like had like stress when you're playing a game? And number 2, has anyone told you like you won't make it like to the sport that you want to do?
Of course. All the time. Stress every single time. Every time I faced a pitcher that I didn't know was good, or I knew was good, you have stress. But the stress that I try to eliminate is stress of the parent. Because my stress wasn't if I hit a ball. My stress was, what's my dad going to do to me? What is this going to cost me? What is this strikeout going to cost me when I get home? And what fight am I going to get into because of this? That's why I want to eliminate that. The time I looked the worst was my most important tryout, which was with the Yankees in '97, when I tried out in front of George Steinbrenner and did horribly. That's my biggest failure on a baseball setting like that. Last question.
Can you complete anything in life if you don't have effort, positivity, or just like?
Can you complete? You could, of course. Because you could complete reading a book and have a bad attitude and 0 effort. Do you know what I'm saying? Because let's talk about this. Is a very good question. Let's talk about what the difference between effort and attitude is. Let's say something we all have to do here, which is pick up balls, right? So let's do this. Let's see this chair, right? So we're done, and coach says, guys, put away the chairs. Bad effort in putting away the chairs is like this. Good effort with a bad attitude. We've all seen that. Oh my God, how many times do I have to pick this stuff up and do this because this thing, whatever, right? That's why they both go like this together. And you guys educate them on everything. Starts at the house. Do not carry the stuff for your kids. One of the biggest things I would see all the time is that people expect warriors on a field. Well, how can you have a warrior on your field when you have a baby in the car? And when you get out of the car, you're babying him. Papa, let me hold your bag. Let me hold your water. And the little kid, let me see your hat, Nathan. I see this all the time. I see the little kid playing with his hat and the dad there carrying everything. Even worse, the mom doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what that means? You know what that means? That you can't get mad at your kid when he doesn't act. Pay attention, guys, pay attention. You can't get mad at your kid when on the field he doesn't perform like a man because you're raising a baby. So, man all the way through, then don't reward result. Everything is effort and attitude. All right.
Look at Lorenzo.
Yeah,
He's going out of jail.
thank you.
What year, by the way, for Veronica?
97.
Nathan. I'm right here, coach.
Where is it? Over there? Perfect, dude. Dale.
So you said your dad learned from his mistake.
Did he? I don't think he did, but maybe as he get later, maybe he did learn. All right? Oye, good luck, man. Good luck. Say hello to the wife. Say hello to everybody for me.
Boys, put the chairs, all right?
Perry, what'd you think, buddy?
It's good stuff, right?
Yeah?
You have the whole room looking at you. All ears were on you.
Right. That's I think with that group it's interesting because they're a very captive audience, you know?
Yeah.
But as you see with everything, bro, everything it's the same thing, man. It's parents over into results, not wanting their kids to fail, that kind of thing, you know? So
You think they're scared for their kids to fail?
1,000%. 1,000%. Perry, beautiful Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night here in Miami.
Got clear skies.
We got clear skies. We're out of here. I'm starving for some reason. Thank you so much, dude.